study is to accumulate knowledge about the evolution of social behavior in primates. Now, monkeys are primates, and we have four different species of primates in Sri Lanka. We have the toque macaque, the gray langur, the purple-faced langur, and then the nighttime nocturnal loris. Now, animals like monkeys are very social animals. They live in social groups, and it's very important for animals to be able to identify each other. In other words, animals need to know who are their friends, who are their enemies, who they can mate with. So therefore, it's also important for us students of social behavior, of monkey social behavior, to be able to identify them. And that is rather difficult. Luckily for us, the monkeys look very different. So what we do is we make these monkey identification cards. And we draw the different features of their face and their fur colors and their hairdos on these cards, and that helps us to identify who's who. So as I said, it is important for us to be able to differentiate among individuals, because only then can we understand how the mothers, who are the mothers, who are the daughters, who are the fathers, who are the uncles. In other words, their social structure and how they interact with another. So one of the things that we look at is how monkeys treat their young, and how they court one another. I mean, monkeys don't just mate randomly, they go through a courtship ritual. And feeding for them is a very important phenomenon. Also, we want to know how the different social behaviors influence their ability to survive and to reproduce. Monkeys, like other organisms, are evolved to produce as many offspring in their lifetime as is possible. The problem is that all monkeys have the same idea, but the resources in order to support their survivorship is very limited. So not all monkeys can survive. Many of them die. In fact, most of them die. And a monkey can live up to about 30, 37 years old. The male's somewhat different, only about 25 years. But at birth, their average survivorship is only six years. That is because so many of the infants die early in life. So one way to look at longevity, or how long they live, is to say, well, at birth, how long can we expect them to live? Which is about 6 years. But when they survive to be 5 years old, then they can expect to live another 15 years. And after that, as they get older, the life expectancy goes down. And these differences are actually imposed socially. Their social behavior determines who lives and who dies and how long and how many infants they reproduce. So this is the kind of material. So the relationship between behavior and survivorship and reproductive success helps us to understand how these animals evolve to adapt to their environment. Environments are very different, so we have to look at different environments. So for example, in their natural environment and the natural forest that we still find in places like Vilpatu and the national parks where people haven't come, the number of monkeys in a population stays very steady. It doesn't increase over time. In fact, in places like Vilpatu, it is such a harsh environment, the national park, that not many monkeys survive there. They can only survive along the rivers, along streams, and permanent sources of water. Now, what has happened over the last 50 years, especially over the last 50 years, is the number of people and settlements have increased in the natural areas. And they brought with them agriculture, and they brought with them scraps from their food, garbage. Tourists come, local tourists especially, on pilgrims, and they feed the monkeys. So unfortunately what has happened is that in the last 20 or 30, 40 years, the number of monkeys has slowly increased, and they become more dependent, expecting food from people. And that, of course, causes a problem between humans and monkeys. And that is one of the main reasons that people think of monkeys as pests. Now, from my perspective as a social behaviorist, I look at monkeys quite differently. I'm fascinated by their social life. But one of the things that I'm called upon in this country by the Ministry of Environment and by the Presidential Secretariat is to find ways to reduce the conflict between monkeys and humans. There are ways to do it. The thing is, in the general public's mind, you need to manage the monkey population. Well, that's not quite right. Really what needs to be managed is human behavior. And that, of course, as a biologist, as a scientist, that is no longer in my purview. But anyway, there are so many different problems or challenges or phenomena that can be addressed in human behavior, in monkey behavior, communication, and so forth, that there are many opportunities for research. So we here at Polonnaruwa, we have a research station called the Smithsonian Primate Research Station, and we invite students and others to come and help us. There are opportunities to do research. There are opportunities to watch monkeys. If you're just a tourist and you want to learn more about monkeys, we have educational tours to tell you more about monkeys. This is for foreigners or locals. And one way to contact us is on our website. We have a website. It is www.primates.lk, LK for Lanka. And I hope to see some of you here in the near future. Thank you.